everybody and welcome back on the Music Tip. I am Giovanni Perin and today is the final lesson about how to play over autumn leaves. I will show you some of the basics of comping yourself while soloing over autumn leaves. We will cover a basic technique that is called guide tone comping. This guide tone comping technique is based on the third and the seventh played on your left hand, and the voicings that you will play have to fit discretely into the melodic lines that you are playing with your right hand. Of course, you are not only playing with your right hand, because basically when you are soloing, your left hand helps the right hand in fast passages, for example, or even for playing like arpeggiated lines. Before we go on with the lesson, I would like to remind you that if you like, we can study together. You may want to book some private lesson with me, or if you want to support the channel, you may want to buy some of my music, my books, and go and visit my website www.giovanniperin.com. Let's say, for example, that I'm playing over the first 2-5-1, so C minor to F7. I keep the third and the seventh in my left hand. So if you haven't done, I suggest you to study the voicings that I gave you in one of the previous lessons, because there you can really focus on how the voicings are built and also on this particular technique. So 3 and 7 becomes 7 and 3 basically. So C minor to F7 and then B flat. You can play the root with the right hand in order to keep tracking of where you are, right? And then you want to have this hand free and play 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can study as a puzzle. You start with, for example, the first 2-5-1, 2, 5, 1 in B flat, and then you end with E flat major 7, and then you try to solo on top of it. Right? Just using one hand for now, so that you split really the ends between the comping and the soloing. In the reality, though, you will have to play with both ends, either the comping or the soloing, especially the soloing. So in reality, I would play something like this. Right? Of course, I don't have to play all the chords. I can leave out some of them in order to create space, and I can express the harmony throughout my melodic lines using arpeggios as we saw last time. Then I move on and I try the same with a 2-5-1 in G minor, right? I have 7-3, so A minor 7 flat 5 to D7, and then I have G minor. Again, keep tracking when you're studying with your right hand, play the roots, and with your left hand, play the guide tones. And then you want to try to solo on top of it. And you can use some of the techniques that we saw last time, like playing arpeggios, for example. And explore some of the chord tone soloing technique that we showed last time. And then you may want to put everything together so you have the whole A section, and it's gonna be something like this at the end. G7 and back to the top. Remember to play it slowly with the metronome. If you want to keep the tempo, you may want to try what I was just doing here. So I was playing steady every beat with my left hand. Or you can either play like beat 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The second thing that you want to do is to try to leave some spaces. You don't have to play everywhere. And if you leave some spaces, you have also your left hand free for helping the right hand. Maybe you want to play a fast line and you don't have the time for comping yourself, so you want to rather play the lines instead of the comping. I think the main focus has to be on the melody, not on the comping. I already told you that, but I will stress you because I think that's the basic of it. The melody has to shine on top of the comping. So I want to play something like this. And instead of playing all the chords every time, I can leave some spaces and play some chord tone solo so that I can express the harmony through my melody. I think it's a great way to get started. I was playing the 3rd and 7th on my left hand, playing my solo on top, leaving some spaces, and of course the comping is fitting my phrasing. So whenever there's a space, I can play a chord with my left hand. Of course, there are some other voicings that you may want to use. You can play 1 and 5 in your left hand, or 1 and 3 works great too. And you can, of course, combine them like. I was using 1 and 3, 3 and 7, or 1 and 5. Of course, there are many different solutions based on 2-note voicings that you can use for your left hand comping. The basic of it would be to play the 3rd and the 7th. But the main thing that you have to remember is that when you want to comp yourself, you need to leave some spaces, either on your comping or on your melodic lines, because otherwise everything is really busy, and also for the listener is difficult to keep tracking of what you are doing, because sometimes what happens is that they cannot really understand what is the harmony and what is the soloing. So try to split the two. I know the instrument is not so big, so if you want to split the comping and the melodic line, you want to play the comping like mezzo piano or piano, whether the melodic lines has to be played, for example, mezzo forte. Of course, you have to use the whole dynamic range. You can use crescendo, decrescendo, you can use any sort of rhythmical application that you may imagine, the important thing is that the melodic line is clear. So don't sacrifice your solo for your comping. That's rule number one. If it is too advanced for you, go back and check just the other lessons about how to play on top of the changes and get started with 2 mallets. You don't need to go crazy with 4 mallets. I don't always play with 4 mallet. I sometimes rather like to play with 2 mallets, like mallet number 1 and number 3, like Gary Barton was doing, and I don't comp myself, especially if there's another instrument. So you don't need to do it. It's something that is more advanced that you want to check out. Take your time and go through the basic of this technique with this video. I hope the video was helpful. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, put a like on my Facebook page, and turn on the notification button, and of course put a like also on the video here if you liked it. And we see each other next time with another great music tip. Please let me know in the comment box below if there's something that you want me to talk about. Thanks a lot, and bye bye.